the corner. No, I won't be long yet on the other side.
Howdy folks, Jacob of Ephraim here. Today we are going to be without ambiguous figs. She's got some family situations going on. Her mom's husband died, and so she's traveling to go and deal with that and be with her mom. Speaking of, hi Figgy, love ya. Hey mama, love you too. And just know that you're loved, and we're sorry for your loss. Today folks, we are going to be covering, like I said previously, we're going to be talking about Turkey and a lot of things going off and going on in Turkey. Figs and I did a little video about this before with the Euphrates River drying up. And at the head of the Euphrates River, do you remember what I said? I said it's in Turkey. Yeah, and we're going to cover some news that doesn't get covered very often. I do have a guest speaker that's going to be joining us shortly, and this individual has been on my show before. Her name is Jenny, and she does like medium work, and she has different visions and things going on, and she's had quite a few, like, I don't want to know if you want to call them premonitions, but visions of things going on in Turkey. That's been a high interest for her for quite some time. But I want you guys to take a look at this cloud right here. You notice how this cloud is really weird looking? This is basically a UFO, folks. This is a round UFO. They create cloud to mask themselves, but they didn't do such a good job because you can see clearly what's going on here. Now, the thing is that this particular cloud was seen in Turkey.
All right, this is a follow-up from my last video that's attached down at the bottom. You look, this strange stuff has been happening in the sky. I attached a video of the clouds actually moving. Now today we actually have, it's almost like a red disc in the sky. This is not CGI. You can pause the video, you can download it. I'll make it downloadable. This is original raw fucking footage in the sky of this weird shape that is not normal. Go ahead, say it's some weather, natural phenomenon. This is not normal. It's a red cloud that looks like a fucking UFO. And it keeps moving and changing. I have a little bit more closer up at the end of this video and this footage, but I mean, just take a look. Seriously, I mean, zoom in. Is that normal? That is not at all normal.
This is in Turkey.
Nor were the sounds that went along with the last video. So just take a second, click on both of them, chime in, let me know. If you know exactly what this is, great. Let me know.
This is in Turkey.
But if not,
before the earthquakes
are changing.
That's got to make you go,
look at that. That is just so fucking crazy.
Things that make you go, right, folks? Here's where he's zooming in on it. There's the rooster in the background. Folks, that's not normal at all. I've got some really interesting perspectives and thoughts on this, and I'm sure you know where I'm going with it. Folks, that's not normal. That is a red cloud, UFO, if you will. Here's a quick look at a map of Turkey and where all of these earthquakes and aftershocks have been happening. There's been a lot of them, and it's all over the place in this region. Folks, for those of you who don't know, go ahead and, I don't care if you use Google, Apple, Brave, DuckDuckGo, whatever. Get in your search engine and look up tunnels in Turkey. They're everywhere. Makes you wonder what's going on underground with these tunnels. Dams. For those of you who are aware of what dams are, they're everywhere. Check this out, folks. We are looking at a shipping container yard at a marina, basically, in Turkey. Although Turkey is one of 30 member countries of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, or NATO, it is against the sanctions imposed on Russia by the Western countries. America warned Turkey about exporting goods to Russia, and that is known. Again, you can go research this for yourself and find out, holy crap, that's true. Now, all of a sudden, look at this. Put in containers. These ice can to run. Interesting, don't you think? Is that a coincidence? Is this being brought up by mainstream? All right, folks, I am back, and special guest host, if you will, hostess, is Jenny. How you doing, Jenny?
Good. How are you?
Doing all right. I've shown everybody a little bit already. I'm just kind of smoothing into everything some of the stuff that's going on now. The thing that's going on with Turkey, folks, you got to understand, like right here, this is from Sam Carno. A lot of you are very familiar with Sam, my brother from another mother over in England. This is from a conversation he and I were having. How it's funny how that this happens a week or so after Turkey and Syria sign a declaration to work together against Zion, right on their borders, and where thousands of fighters are traveling through to go and help Russia in Khazar country. And the amount of tunnels under those towns for smuggling allowed those buildings to fall like cards, which absolutely. So for those of you who don't know, they did sign this declaration, and things are going very well with them as far as like meeting up and training basically to fight not Nazism. And this is from their own words. I'm actually going to scroll up here and I'm going to play it for you, and you guys can actually read it for yourself, and we'll get to some of the.
Приехал из Турции, кем я приехал, друзья мои. Мы против нацистов. Мы знаем, что здесь происходит, что происходит в Украине здесь. Мы знаем, что Россия воюет не против Украины и против нацистов, которые управляют Украиной. Учился просто в Москве. Я много лет был, поэтому так хорошо говорю на русском языке. США, ну, так как все знают, они везде спонсируют террористов, везде спонсируют всяких не украинцев, не сирийцев, а террористов они спонсируют, чтобы был бардак во всех странах. Они от этого пытаются, от этого они зарабатывают. То же самое здесь происходит.
Crazy, don't you think?
Yeah. That really fits in with what they're trying to cover up as far as I'm concerned about all of it.
Oh yeah. Now we're actually gonna get a little more. So this, okay. Now, if folks, I'm gonna tell you right now, you can totally not just hear but feel the despair in these people's voices. So if you're easy to cry and get emotional, turn the volume off. Okay? Pre-warning. But it's what's at the end of this video that's also very significant, because I literally already showed you a part of what's at the end of this video. So we're going to get to this. But like I said, if you're sensitive to it, turn it off. Turn the volume off, because it's heart-wrenching.
Mountaintop, and it's still got that circular shape. This is a wild video for sure. I have never
I paused it. My bad.
seen anything like this in real life, and it took me quite a while to try to figure out what this is, and I'm not even 100% certain.
So you're saying it's an alien?
It looks like an alien spacecraft. This is wild.
That's what I got out.
This is a wild prediction.
This was not in Denver.
No, this isn't Turkey.
Yeah.
This is,
In Turkey, folks. So, like I said, that right there was mainstream media telling you where it was at. So, it is heart-wrenching, like I said. So you can turn the volume back on now. The pain part of it is pretty much over. But is it really?
What we used to do is beam.
That really needs to be paid attention to is this right here. This gentleman right here works for This agency, can you see where I'm pointing at, Jenny?
Yes.
Okay, because I'm not going to say too much of this out loud. So, okay, look at where my cursor is, folks, and listen.
Frequency. What we used to do is beam radio waves into the ground, and it would vibrate any strings that were present in the ground. We might get a sound back like, and we'd say, that's natural gas. We might get a sound back like, and we say that's crude oil. We were able to identify each frequency. We accomplished this with just 30 watts of radio power. If you do this with 2 billion watts, the vibrations are so violent that the entire piano would shake. In fact, the whole house would shake. In fact, the vibrations could be so severe underground that could even cause an earthquake.
How you doing? For those of you who are wondering what I might be talking about, hopefully you saw what I was circling here. Well, got a little something else for you. It's in the form right here. Footage. I'm going to move it forward for us. Come on. Look at the clouds. Remember how Now, do you guys remember how when he pulled the string on the guitar or the piano, how it vibrated? It's a rippling effect. It's a wave. Look at these waves. See that? These here are undeniable ripples, aka waves, in our atmosphere. They can shoot them from above or from the ground up. I mean, look at this in fast motion. Look at that rolling ripples. Look at that. That is not normal.
No, it's not.
Kind of gives you the EBGBs when you see it in fast forward, going like that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like I'm looking at this going, God dang, they've been messing with this stuff for a hot minute. I mean, look at that. Woo, woo, woo. I mean, God dang, look at that. I mean, they're clearly waves of frequencies.
And that's from 2015.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It's even more so nowadays, and especially with them spraying things, you can see it even more. This one you see normal, and then it comes and it rolls in. Look at that. Whoosh. Look at that. And then gone. Folks, like that's... it's so obvious. It's like, whoa. They're totally messing with us. They're messing with our air. They're messing with our planet. Hands down. Now, these guys we already listened to. We did listen to them already, right?
Yes.
Yes. Now, look at what else is going on there. Pipeline explodes in southern Turkey. Whether it's gas, natural gas, crude oil, but I believe it to be natural gas / propane with a blaze like that. That's not going to be normal from crude, but natural gas and propane, absolutely. That right there, that's going to create another crisis.
Yeah, I mean they're in winter, I think, right now. There's it's cold.
Certain parts of it. You know, from watching the flames dance. I've been out doing that stuff long enough now. This is during the wait. Someone whose boots on the ground got his phone out and started recording. You know that blue flashing lights? Those are the electrical transformers popping off. Yeah, boom, power goes out. Transformers. I guarantee you that guy's drawers were filled by the time the shaking got done.
Yeah, well, there was also consistent
Sorry, say that again.
seismic.
I'm sorry, the volume played over you. I'm sorry, say that again, hon.
I said that there was repetitive ones at one after the other. I mean, they were like above, another 7.5, then there was sixes.
7.8, yep, and they were in the
Yeah,
fives.
and
So yeah.
I'm in California, so I know everything there is to know about earthquakes and how they shake, how they feel, and that causes severe damage. I mean,
Oh yeah, and just like with what Sam said, with all the tunnels underneath Turkey, not having a lot of stuff to hold it up, all of them buildings would have literally collapsed like playing cards, just would have fallen down because there's no major support under them because those were collapsing.
Anything stone or like older buildings, like ancient buildings too. I heard a castle.
So yeah, I've actually got that. I didn't put it on here because you couldn't. There was no before and after. It was just the kind of after, so it's like it was kind of hard to do the comparison. But it looks like it just literally looks like the site of a big mound of just dirt and rock, and then down at the bottom you can see like a few little windows from what the castle used to be. It's really kind of weird looking. But yeah, here's another short one of stuff of what it looked like in Turkey. So far, over 1,700 people confirmed dead. Kind of funny how it's 17, isn't it?
Yeah, that always goes in line with the numbers. Yeah.
Yeah, it does. Oh, and look at this. Again, over Turkey before the earthquakes commenced. Now I've got one.
Do you notice that the birds are flying over there? Look at all the birds.
Yes, we're gonna get to that. This one's one right here. This is right before the earthquake started. Listen to these guys. You got to remember, this is at nighttime. They're quiet at night. They don't make noise at night. They make noise in the morning when the sun comes up. I mean, you always, in the morning when the sun comes up, these birds are going ballistic. And from the looks of it, this guy might be the same person that recorded the earthquake when it started shaking and quaking. Just from looking at the surrounding areas. But that's crazy.
Yeah, you can always know, and they know what's going on.
Yeah.
And animals.
Birds. Yeah, the birds here. Yeah. The birds all circling around. They're like, "Hey, what's going on here?" I mean, look at this, folks. Oh, look at clouds higher up. They're white, gray. Why is this one yellow and red, and then just black like that? That's ominous looking to me. That's definitely in my eyes. There's no way that's not a UFO of some sort. Plain and simple. I don't think that's anything else. Now, this is what's really weird. I got this. This is kind of off Turkey subject for a minute, but this here is in South Carolina. There was actually a NOTAM off the coast of South Carolina. The FAA had issued it. Now, NOTAM is a notice to airmen. Okay, anyone flying about going in this area, basically to stay out of this area. This is an off-limits area. Don't go here. Why? What's going on off the coast of South Carolina? I haven't heard anything yet, but it wouldn't surprise me if we do. Now, to get back now. Okay. To get to where I was talking before, let's get off of this here real quick. Hold on just a second, folks. I'll be right back again. Now, before we get on to this part of it here, Jenny, what are some of your impressions? Because I'm kind of going to jump back to what Figs and I talked about biblical prophecies before we kind of move forward. What are some of your feelings on what we've been seeing so far, just on like the mainstream media and that part coverage, and like with me going with the UFOs and with playing a harp instrument, read my mind. So
Yeah. It's prophetic at the same time, but that was we have to look at the Bible as being something that was from a long, from way in the past. As far as interpretation, perception, I do know from my own experiences that I've been pulled to the Bible, especially with, visions and that I've been having personally. And I've never studied the Bible, but it's leading me to these certain aspects of the Bible, and I feel pulled by the Holy Spirit to it. But it's correlating with everything that's currently going on. And so you have to ask yourself, is this preordained, or is it something, man-made, that's playing God, or is it really these things that are occurring? I
yeah.
feel like some of it is man-made. I really do, but other parts of it, I don't know if that makes any sense. And I don't know if it'll make any sense to anybody, but um everything points to me to like some of this is like it's definitely been preordained, but we also have to look at the spiritual side of things too, like what's going on with certain, like the religions. Everything's being divided. I mean, we've got, the new world order stuff that's coming to play, and obviously whether the antichrist is arrived. You're going to show yourself. Everything's becoming blatantly in our faces. And if you don't see it, I don't know what else to say,
Oh
but
yeah, 100%.
in
Now,
order to understand it perspective wise, I've been guided to the Bible. I'm going to bring up what you say. It's such a really good analogy, is the Bible is like the galaxy to the universe. It really, a guide to the
yeah,
universe.
yeah,
And I really do believe that, because
a
look at
galactic
what's
farmer's
happening.
almanac.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
or
mean, it's
or a
just,
hitchhiker's guide to the galaxy. Yeah, there's a lot
yes.
to it. Yeah,
Yeah, because I mean, we're in these times that are just, it's like blatantly being put into our face, and and only the Holy Spirit and the energy will, that's being provided. I do believe in Yeshua and Yahweh, and which is God, creator, source, everybody that,
well,
there's different, I mean, words are so powerful.
oh yeah, well,
And
Yahweh is actually Enlil.
yeah, but that's, you can put it on that, and whether it's extraterrestrial or if it's,
Yeah,
I don't
extraterrestrial.
know.
Well, when you go and you read the Enuma Elish and a lot of uh, the Sumerian tablets, and
Hmm.
you start reading them, you actually learn that Yahweh is Enlil. And when you actually start really getting into the Bible and reading about Yahweh, he literally
Yeah.
killed 70,000 of his own people just to prove a point. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
but a creator, God of love, is not going to kill people that are
no.
subservient
And
to him,
I
that are
and
obedient to
but
him,
there's
just
only
to prove a
one,
point.
but yeah, but there's so many avenues with that, and layers. Um and Yahweh, whatever I call it, I go creator, king of the universe. I know it's just source. There's only one true God, one
Right.
true. And so that's where, but people are being led to, there's many gods and all this stuff, and no, there's not. Don't follow that, don't listen to it. And
Well,
but it's
if
being
from
like
perspective,
literally put in our faces.
from
Yeah.
perspective, from a perspective, there are many gods. When you're on a low vibrational frequency, there would be considered many gods. Enki would be a god, Enlil would be a god, any of their brothers and sisters, parents, any Anunnaki being or Nuberian being would be considered God. Any Pleiadian being or Andromedan being or Lyrian or Syrian being that comes to the earth would be looked at and revered as a god because they have all this extraterrestrial power and knowledge that we don't understand and technology that we wouldn't get or understand. So that's where that whole Bible verse, it even says in the Bible, for there are many gods, but he's a jealous God and he only wants to be worshipped. Well, I'm sorry. Love is not jealous, period. No. And that even says that right in the Bible too. So what is this God? He ain't a God. He's an extraterrestrial posing as a God. He's just got a big old freaking ego. But anyways, I want to focus here on this one part of the Bible that Figs and I kind of touched on.
And this one's been coming up for a lot of people in all spectrums of life. But yes.
Revelations 16:12. Okay. And the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up, that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared. Now, if you remember in my previous video, crap. I wonder if it's going to let me even touch it. Well, we're going to move on, and then I'll have to close it out and shrink it over. So the next part says, and I saw 3 unclean spirits like what? What is this word right here?
Frogs.
Frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon, and out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet. Okay, so remember frog. Remember, poured out his vial, and false prophet. Okay. So, for they are the spirits of devils working miracles. Like people being brought back from the dead? Wait, what? And all of which go forth unto the kings of the earth and the whole world to gather them to the battle of the great day of God Almighty. Okay, so now we're going to do a little, so I just read over that. Now, hey, that's not the guy I wanted first. This one was. The sixth angel poured out his vial and stopped the river. This is a big bowl. Poured out his bowl, his vial, poured it out, and created a dam to stop the water from flowing to the Euphrates. That's something that I talked about. That makes a lot of sense, but we're going to go a little bit more into that. Now, remember, we were talking about the frogs. Right? Well, Pepe the Frog. Guess what, folks? I've actually done a video on Pepe the Frog, and that's actually part of a cult religion. Believe it or not. And Pepe's the king. So, and it's not necessarily a good thing, folks, at all. So, we just got done talking about frogs. Oh, and then a false prophet. And Pepe. Put together. How you doing? I'm sorry. I can't help but snicker and giggle a little bit because it's like there's so many I told you so's that just keep clinking together.
We can't do the I told you so. It's just more of like, hey,
I can.
This is what you need to pay attention to wake up and see these things.
Oh yes, I can.
Doing.
Because it's the little ones like this, and then when the big reveal happens and everybody sees for themselves, I won't even have to say I told you so. Because they already heard me saying it before, and I'll just kind of look at people with my arms folded going, What did I say? Folks, I'm telling you, you need to be paying attention, and I'm not trying to be a dink smooch about it by any means, but come on, I was there too. Okay, I was a big believer and follower of Trump and everything, and then I started having my eyes open, and I'm like, oh my gosh. Folks, it's the false prophet. We need to understand this, okay? Now, we're going to get back to Turkey right now. All right, now back to Turkey. We talked about the dam, Ataturk Dam in Turkey. Folks, please understand, when I was making this connection for everybody a while ago, sometimes it's like you get hit with knowledge and you don't know where it comes from and it ends up being truth, and then later on it becomes revealed. Well, here we are, folks. Ataturk, I'm sure that I'm screwing it up. And if I was to say it correctly in Turkish, it would sound different, but Ataturk Dam. Euphrates River. Look at that. Poured. Right here. Euphrates River in southeastern Turkey, the centerpiece of the southeastern Anatolia project. The Ataturk Dam is the largest in a series of 22 dams. That's why the Euphrates River is going dry, folks. There's 22 dams from where it's drying up to the head point. And 19 hydroelectric stations built on the Euphrates and Tigris rivers in the 1980s and 90s in order to provide irrigation, water, and hydroelectricity to the arid southeastern Turkey. Completed in 1990, the Ataturk Dam is one of the world's largest earth and rock-filled dams with an embankment 604 feet, or 184 meters, high and 5,971 feet long, or 1,820 meters. Folks, it's actually the third largest dam in the world. Okay? Third largest. It is massive. By all means, come on over here and start looking into it. And you'll go, whoa. Now, guess what's happened, folks? Oh, Pepe, what are you doing here? Get out of here. I'm done with you, Pepe. Look at
Why
this.
do they keep popping up?
I don't know. I don't know. That freaking frog just pops up all over the place. He's annoying. Look at this, folks. Do you see how large this dam is? Are you getting it yet? Look at all of this water here. Okay?
Oh my good gracious.
Look at how big this is now. Cracks in the Ataturk Dam after the earthquakes. Okay? We're going to read a little bit of this. The Ataturk Dam in southeast Turkey appears to be in critical condition after two devastating earthquakes of 7.5 and 7.8 on the Richter scale occurred relatively close to it. Now, here's another thing, folks. The Richter scale is off by 1 whole point minimum. Soon as Richter died, he's the one that created the Richter scale. Soon as he died, they lowered it by 1 full point, literally the next damn day. So it was really an 8.5 and an 8.8. Now that's a minimum of 1. Who's to say they haven't, jerry-rigged it down another 0.2 or 0.3 or 0.5? Okay. Reports are coming from Turkey saying that there are many cracks in the dam after the strong earthquakes. The surrounding areas have already been evacuated. Experts warn that the dam could break at any moment and the resulting devastation could affect an area of 30 square kilometers near the dam. Now that's an immediate boom from people that are around there. Folks, look at how much water is back here, and if this thing breaks and fails, this is a whole wall of water. How many of those other 21 dams, once this one breaks, do you think is going to stop it? Let's be real, and they're not as big as this.
That's going to be a cascading effect.
Yeah, here it is, February 6th. Yeah, because once this one goes, the next dam, bam, it's gone. And then all the water from this dam, the Ataturk, plus the next one down are all going to the next one. It's just going to be a boom, 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 boom. There ain't going to be a stopping it. Once this goes, it's going to be complete pandemonium. I mean, it's going to be insane. Look, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
This baby is steep too. Folks.
Oh boy.
There are times where I don't like knowing things. There are times that I wish I was wrong about a lot of things. And honestly, I still hope that I'm wrong, even though I know I'm not. I already said that it was about the dams. Here it is. With the cement trucks, there it is. And yeah, Euphrates is about to get wet, though. It's coming, Euphrates. Hold your breath. Literally. Because about to get real wet. Now that we've got this part out of the way, we need to talk about your little field of expertise here, young lady, because you've got some really interesting stuff to talk about when it comes to Turkey. Folks, let me show you what I'm talking about. All right. Okay, folks, now we're on to Jenny's little expertise level here of things of remote viewing and premonitions, visions, dreams, things of that nature. And this is all about Turkey. Now, please explain to us what I'm looking at here. So I'm looking at this maybe being a volcano.
Let me explain the story behind it. I didn't know where this was per se, because of the simple fact that I drew what I was seeing. And so I had to draw it quickly, and I'm starting to try to do dates and stuff, but this was last year, and I honestly couldn't tell you where this was coming from, but I looked at the woman with the headpieces on, and it looked like the gravel and stuff looked like mountains, kind of looked like Turkey or the Middle East. I just knew it was in the Middle East somewhere. And then
Well,
obviously, if you look to the right, I saw like the Star of David over there, you know,
that's
as
what
a
this is right
star.
here.
Yes.
Okay,
And
representing
then I
Zion.
saw a craft and I wasn't sure what this was. It looked like some kind of, I don't know, something I hadn't seen before with our latest technology of what they're releasing about what they have.
Okay,
And then I saw an explosion with it.
right
And
here.
yeah, yeah, a lot of smoke and stuff like that. And then the woman was so desperately like reaching for something and just like hollering, like crying
Like for family or
and
something in a building that's
yeah,
collapsed,
like
maybe.
family and stuff, but it looked like more of a remote
Oh,
type of area.
oh, this is Turkey. Oh, it just hit me. This right here, this is that
Yeah.
castle that I've got a picture that somebody sent me a picture. Remember, I told you it looked like just a mound of dirt.
Yes.
It literally looks like that. Oh, hold on, hold on. Well, hold the phone, folks. Okay, so we saw that one. Hold on a second here. I
I
gotta go.
thought maybe other people would know, especially with this happening like this was a year ago
Where's
and it's
Sam?
been
Oh, here he
bothering me
is.
for a while.
I
Yeah.
think I think Sam actually sent it to me. Let me see if I can find it.
Uh-oh, did Sammy find it?
Oh yeah, yeah, he did. I think he sent it to me, and I was like, oh, I might use it, I might not use it. I'm not sure. It was either him or it was my friend Teresa. But yeah,
Oh,
he sent me a lot of stuff. I mean, Turkey expecting a false flag from those who wield power in NATO. Oh well, we know about that.
oh boy.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, this is really just so sad.
yeah. He. I don't know how Sam does, but he gets. Oh, here we go. Look.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's what it looked like.
I mean, this is what. Okay, here there is a before one. This is
Oh
what
my
it was before.
what is that a star fort?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
my, look
That
at
was the
that.
that was the before, and this is the after. You remember, I just looked like just a bunch of pile
Oh.
of rubble, and then the wind
Yes.
coming in the bottom. But here's a little video on it. See if I can look at
Evet, Gaziantep Kalesi'nin halini görüyorsunuz. Depremin
your
nasıl
phone.
vurduğunu, depremin nelere mal olduğunu görüyorsunuz Gaziantep Kalesi.
Let me mute that. See
Wow.
how it just looks like it's yeah. That's literally what's in your phone. Oh my gosh, Jenny, you are banging right now. Woo, banging on it, loving it,
I'm
loving
banging God's message. The
it.
Holy Spirit.
Banging on it.
That's the
So
Holy Spirit right there.
we literally everything that's going on is in this one photo right here. We'll get to the others. But think about it.
And this was from a year ago. So I
Yeah,
just want people to know how this is for me, like prophetic wise, seeing it
this
happening.
this
Can
is
you imagine looking at that before it even happens and just going, what is this? I didn't know where it was.
yeah. But imagine I can just imagine being in your position right now. You drew this, and then seeing everything that I just pointed out, the castle that's fallen down and it's in rubbish, showing everybody the UFO that was there, knowing that the freaking neo-Nazi slash Zionists are the ones behind it with the rubble and the stinking the earthquake and everything, and the people crying out over the buildings collapsing. We're literally watching everything is right here in one freaking photo.
Mhm.
That's got to be like, I would be like, why would I want to see that ahead of time and then seeing it come to fruition? I'd be a little
The
disturbed.
only thing that I can explain to you what that is for me, and so I get teary-eyed because of all the souls that have been lost because of this stuff, but that you're only shown what you can handle, you know, and I've seen a lot. So that's the explanation for that.
Now, I have a question
Yeah,
for
or
you.
I don't want to create fear or, you know, or any of that kind of thing. So, but this is showing
What's the
your
first
viewers
initial?
and everything of what I see. And then when you see it on camera and what's currently happening in the world, it just makes you go, whoa, yeah,
What's the
whoa.
what's the first initial of your last name?
The first initial of my last name,
Yeah, first letter.
C,
A C. What
C,
about middle name? First letter.
M.
Okay, because I'm seeing a J and then an F and an S. I didn't know if
Mm,
somehow you'd kind of put your initials in there or something. That's why I was asking. But yeah, I see three
no,
JFS. Do you see it?
yeah, I don't know what that. Yeah, I mean, that could be just like the way that I was drawing it, but it could be. I don't know. When I go into these, I kind of just I had to stop. As you can see, like some of it's not done by her, the rest of it, because it was just so prolific that I was like, it was horrible looking. I couldn't handle it myself, so I had to stop. Yeah.
Can't blame you. But folks, everything literally that I just showed you is happening right here. Minus one thing that's going to happen, and that's the Euphrates. That baby's about to get a lot of water. Now,
Well, I have another picture to show you, but I didn't send it to you,
now
not thinking
we've
that.
had a lot of water dreams. I mean, I
Yeah.
have, you have, a lot of people have. Now think about this,
Yeah.
folks. Really think about this. There are 21 other dams and people and villages all around along the Euphrates River. When this first one breaks, it's not going to be long before it starts washing. Imagine the size of the wall of water that's going to come rushing down the Euphrates when it hits that last dam. Oh my God. It's going to be
Didn't
devastating.
it say 22?
There are a
Did you
total of 22. The Ataturk is the first one. It's the biggest one of the other 21, holding the most back, in that, like, the most amount of water, and it's the highest.
No, the other reason I was mentioning 22 is because the next photo that you would show, we'll get to that. But
You want
yeah,
this
that's
one
a
or the
lot
next
of
one?
water. Yeah, that's I could see this. I drew this about a year ago, and I've been fixated on Turkey for a while now. Um, and I Googled Earthed it and everything to find what I was seeing. And I walked into was on the cliff. It was on a cliff, and I was climbing it, and I went inside, and I could smell the dirt and everything. And mind you, in the vision, I was on how I got to this point was on a submarine, but it was above, like above the ocean. And I climbed up a side of a cliff, and I'm like, I'm going in there, like I'm going to find out what this is. And that's the doorway of the entrance of that cave. It was in there that I saw. And it was very dark. I could hear water underneath. As you can see in the bottom part, I didn't really color it in, but there was water. And I could actually smell the earth, and I could like it's just the smelling and hearing water dripping. And then when I walked through it, you're going to see the next picture, and that will show you, or when I was
Oh
going
my
to walk
gosh,
through it.
Jenny,
Yeah.
it just clicked. I already know what's in that top right corner on that next picture,
Hmm.
and I'm like, oh my gosh.
But
Look at
that's what
this,
I
folks.
saw. And when I was walking in there, I saw that to the right of
Look
me.
at this. 20. Now, for
Yeah.
those of you who don't know, dams are often called locks. Lock 22. It's the first of 22.
Oh my.
Lock
I've been trying
22.
to figure this out for like a year, what that is.
22. There's 22 dams, and they're also called locks. Holy shit, talking
And then
mushrooms.
let me finish. What was to the left of me, I didn't even draw that part, was and like another, which looked like a tank, like you would go in, but it went into the ground, and there was a lid on it. And above it was like an alarm, those alarms that you see like on like emergency vehicles or something, the light.
Yeah.
And it was alerting off, but there was nobody in the tunnel. No one.
Well, no, everybody's buggered out because they knew it was going to
Yeah, they're like,
collapse.
peace out.
Well, they knew it was going to collapse. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, we just solved this one, the L22 for you right now.
Yeah.
Oh my
Everybody's
God. Folks,
witnessing.
you
Yeah,
heard
this
it
is my
right here, right
testimony. This
now.
is what comes from the Holy Spirit. Look
Oh
at
my
that.
gosh.
Yep.
You've been bugging what that was, and we literally just did it right here. Folks, you literally just heard what that's been bugging her. And if you watch our previous video that we did, where we had Mountain with us and Jenny and myself, and we shown this photo and we talked about it.
Yeah.
Please watch
Yeah.
that one so you'll
Many
know.
times.
Here we
And
are again,
here we
circling
are.
back around. Bam.
Yeshua's with me.
Lock
And
22.
everybody needs to pray and really just stick with the
Oh,
Bible. I'm telling you, yeah, it's, I
wow.
don't know what else is going to happen, but it doesn't, yeah.
Ooh, I've literally got goosebumps. My arms are my hairs are standing on end right now, like ding, 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 ding. It is so crazy. Whoa. Folks, the Euphrates is about to get wet. I think this is pretty much solid proof the Euphrates is about to start getting wet again, but it's not going to be in a pleasant way. In fact, the best bet that all these other dams can do is just open the gates. Just open them up and let them start running, because they already know that other water's coming. To even stand part of a chance at all, they all just need to open the gates all the way, because, yeah. Lock 22, She's about to come down.
Well,
Oh,
well, I mean, let's hope that it's not true, but you know, I
if they're already evacuating people and they know that it's imminent, it's going to happen,
okay,
it's coming.
yeah.
I mean, they're literally, it's
Well,
going to go at any moment. Like they
hopefully
know it's
all I
coming.
can do is warn people, you know, that if you know people in Turkey who are in the areas, let them know. Just let them know. Just be prepared, you know, not to live in fear, but just have faith, hope, and belief and pray and do what you need to do for like, you know, survival kits and stuff like that, you know, for
Yeah.
situations.
Folks, the
Yep.
Ataturk Dam is going to collapse. It is imminent, and every dam on the bottom side of it is going to go as well. If you know anyone along the Euphrates River, or if you know anyone that knows anyone that's close to the Euphrates, have them evacuate from along the edges of the river soon, like as soon as possible, and to stay away for a while because it's coming. Oh
Does,
my word.
doesn't this kind of sound like a biblical time of, you know,
I mean,
Noah getting in the boat, you
sounds like
know?
we just made a prophecy or whatever, but it's like you kind of were banging on it. You just didn't know what you were banging on.
I know, I had no idea. And they wouldn't, when I was trying to open that what looks like a bolt, they didn't want me, you know, the Holy Spirit and everything did not want me going in there. It said absolutely not. And, you know, me, my curiosity, which I probably shouldn't have done, it was just really dark. And I was like, ooh, this don't feel good. So I did leave, you know, but I
Well,
was
you
wondering
couldn't
what
get
was
you
in there,
couldn't get
what
through
they're
that door though,
holding in
could
there.
you? You couldn't get through that
What?
door.
No, no,
You know what? I'm almost willing to bet that because behind that door was going to be a lot of bodies, and you didn't need to see that.
probably. I don't know. I really don't know. This is just really, it kind of, you know, you think about what I'm seeing a year ago and watching this stuff unfold and I can tell you that honestly, my faith and belief is always been there, but it's really strong now. And I just want everybody to seek Jesus if you can. You know, I'm just saying that because it's going to get like this probably in a lot of
Well,
different
I would say
places.
well, rather than seek him, seek the path that he led and try to follow that path. Because
Yes.
he was the blueprint. If we follow the blueprint of the things that he did and actual things he did, not just by going from the Bible, but other stories of Yeshua and what he did for his path to ascension, that I would say yes.
Yes. You know, however you want to grasp that, but I mean, it's really important now, and I'm not trying to put any fear, anything. I mean, but this is like kind of blowing my mind too, you know, a little bit, but because I just think about all the people that have to suffer, but you know, sometimes that makes us at you know the precipice of us believing, you know, that hey, you know, and waking up. Everybody needs to wake up. We really do. Yeah.
All right, folks, we're going to take just a little breather, even though for you guys, it's going to be right back, but we're going to take a breather for a second. Okay, folks, we're back, even though for you guys, it was like 2 seconds. Folks, this is really prophetic. I'm really glad that things worked out the way that it did. I don't think it could have come out any more perfect. With Figs traveling, not able to join me, I was going to try and get a hold of Sam and have Sam with me, but Sam couldn't make it. So I was like, you know, I'm betting Jenny could, and I knew that Jenny had some dreams and some visions about Turkey, so I wanted to include her in this. And literally, bam, these 3 drawings right here, the tunnels of the underground tunnels that we all know that goes on in Turkey, the drawing of the collapsing, the fires. I mean, did we not see the pipeline fire that I showed you guys there? The pipeline, the fire. I mean, we saw the fire, we saw the smoke, the UFOs, the freaking castle that looks just like a heat mound now. You know, the people crying. Oh my gosh. I mean, seriously, it's all right there. And then this here, L22, Lock 22, one of 22 dams. The whole thing just came together. And I'm still in awe and shock about it. I mean, it's eye-opening, yet at the same time, it's really, I mean, it's I don't want to say it's cool because it's not, because we know what's the devastation that's going to happen, but at the same time,
Yeah.
wow, it's great, but gosh dang it, sometimes a good thing can feel like a curse because you know things that are going to happen and people are going.
It's not like that though, and I don't want people to think of it as a curse.
I know, but I mean,
It's a big thing to have to see these things that
yeah,
I go through, but I'm sharing this with you and with everybody that's watching. And I really do pray for all those people that have to leave this plane and go.
obviously in that way, yeah.
Yeah.
Whew.
So, but as an intercessor, that's your thing. Yeah, I guess as I'm an intercessor, this is what I'm supposed to do. Uh, psychic medium, intercessor,
It's
you
hard not
know,
to be emotional about some of this stuff because it's like knowing ahead of time that so many are going to, like you said, leave the
lose,
scene in a horrific way.
yes.
But
Yeah, but I pray for them and on the other side, and there's just yeah. But
whew.
thank you for
Well, I'm glad that, if anything, I'm
thank
glad
you
that we
for
can.
bringing that. I could thank Sam for, I mean, this is just like really, I've been wondering about this. I mean, everybody has to know I've been wondering what this is for like years.
Yeah,
I mean, a year. It feels like years and years, but I mean, it just has been a long wait to discover what this is or where it is.
yeah. And I mean, the whole L-22. When soon as you asked me, and it took you to say it back to me for me to even click. Because
Yeah.
I read that it was one of 22 dams, and you said, "Wait a minute, did you just say that it's one of 22 dams?" I'm like, "Huh? Yeah, why?" And you're like, "Well, in the one photo," and it clicked right in my head because I have stared at this photo trying to get something from it to kind of put things together to help solve it. And as soon as I remembered the L-22, and as soon as you said that before we were even on this photo, it clicked, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" Because dams are also called locks. Lock
And
22.
I had no idea. Yeah, I just know that, and then seeing, and then everything that's transpiring, and then seeing to the left of me, that was just to the right of me when I was walking in this tunnel. But that the alarm and stuff, and I'm like, what is that other thing that's there? It's like a opening down to the ground. I go, it looks like a pipe, like a water pipe or something like that you would see underground. Yeah. Yeah, but it's not but literally that is not, it wasn't, so like finding the location of this would be something else, but because I can describe it to a T, and if somebody showed me a picture of it, I would know where it is. And whether it connects to the Black Sea or whatever, I just know that it's in those areas, but I'm like, it's on a cliff on the ocean, and water must come out of it, it comes down off of it. Um, but I would know if I saw it,
Yeah,
because it was very real to me. And I mean, obviously, it's stuck around with me for a year or so. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. I
Folks,
mean,
this is so prophetic that this just happened a year in the making, and in a sense, these three photos, in a sense, can be closed because we know exactly what it is. It's pieces brought to these three for you because we know now.
mhm.
With this, you might get more. Who knows?
I actually have more that I could show you, but yeah,
But
because there's one, there's an opening that I caught that was on it, and I did date that one. And it was on the it was the Dead Sea, and that's over in that area too.
yeah, and yeah, you know what? The Dead Sea might wind up getting some water out of this thing too.
And the levels are low on it too, which is weird because I don't know, Matt and I were listening to something about it, about the Dead Sea, about how deep it is,
Now, when
you
I
know.
first saw this photo, before I heard, now I saw this photo before I heard the videos of the women crying out, and I looked at this and I was like, "Is this woman casting a spell?" Something along that line. And then
Hmm.
that's when I first thought when I first seen this, and then when I was hearing those women, the despair and the wailing from the people of the buildings collapsing, knowing that there were people in there,
Yeah.
and then
Oh
watching,
yeah.
this, like, oh my freaking god, it's a woman crying out because she knows people are dying.
Yes. And
Like,
then also, Mountain just had a dream, like a Saturday up before it happened, and she saw people. She felt like, what was it? people falling on her and stuff, and then things falling on her. So that would be like an indication of like what happened. And she couldn't sleep that night either. So
Goodness.
that could be another reason why you're not sleeping either. You're just not remembering your dreams. I don't know. I mean, that's a pretty profound thing. But when that happens, we're supposed to pray. Yeah, we're supposed to pray when this happens. So
I've had a couple nights where I literally didn't sleep at all. Like I tossed and turned all night long. I know I wasn't in deep sleep. I was almost in between, but not enough to have dreams to even remember. It's like I was conscious. It's weird to say this, but I was consciously sleeping, not unconsciously sleeping. Do you know what I mean? Like I knew I was like resting to sleep, but I was like still trying to toss. I was tossing to sleep. Like it felt like I was constantly telling myself, "Go to sleep, go to sleep," but I just couldn't go to sleep. And that was a rough night. That might have been Saturday, actually. Thinking about that, might have been Saturday night,
yeah.
Sunday night.
And then so whenever these things occur, people just need to pray. And I pray, if you start praying, it relieves that, and you can just start understanding or being at peace a little bit. Helps to, because I mean, there's just so many things going on that are just beyond, I mean, in this plane and then the spiritual realm, and there's a lot going on, a lot.
Yeah, there is.
So, but keeping a clear mind and
There's the fire right there.
yeah, I mean,
There's
that looks like
from right here.
that's what it looked like to me.
I mean,
Was that when I look at it, it looks like a nuclear explosion, it's just like that's kind of like what I saw, but there was just all this dirt around it or mound. Yeah.
yeah, I
And
think
there's women crying and
in a
stuff.
panoramic view of things being layered on top of each other for you to see multiple things in one photo. You know what I'm saying? For you, because I know that
Yeah.
people that do that, they'll see multiple things and it'll all be in one photo, even though they happen in different parts of a region.
Yeah.
But it's all crammed
Yeah.
into one photo, so you get a snapshot of everything that's happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's kind of like what visions are for me, or, prophecies of some sort, or whatever you want to
And
put
then,
on it. But
there's this.
yeah.
That
Yeah. Yeah. That hits me every time.
is literally this. Ugh.
Yeah.
Anyways, folks, we're gonna make a wrap of this because I still gotta render it down and get it ready to post for this evening. And I need to let some emotions out, so I'm not gonna do that live in front of y'all. But just remember that you're loved.
Sweetheart. Yeah. All right.
Jenny, thank you so much for joining me and doing this. It was literally a meant to be thing today because we got to get to the bottom of it.
That's the Holy Spirit. Everybody keep your faith. And yeah, thank you for having me. And I'm sorry Figgy couldn't be here. I know she's going through some,
Well,
I pray for her too.
Honestly, because of the way this worked out, I'm glad that it was only you.
Oh,
This had to happen.
yeah.
Not for it, not just for you to be able to and me to figure this out, but for everyone else to see it and go, whoa. So that if anyone knows people that are along,
it's a warning. Yeah, if anybody, that's really
this
what needs to be said too. Warning.
Yeah.
Yep. If you've got family over there, call them, reach out.
So we will see you guys on the next one. Figs and I, we'll try to make this a regular ordeal. We've been trying. Sometimes work conflicts get in the way, but we really miss you guys. And we want to get back to doing this on a regular basis. But we are working on it. Whenever we get times like on the week, we're going to make something happen. Where we will be following Turkey very closely right now, especially with the Ataturk Dam getting ready to pop. I'm sure everybody's going to want to see and notice what's going on. And we pretty much brought you a bunch of information that's not being covered on mainstream media. They're not going to know about it. So this is where you're going to, and actually, this might actually be your first premonition of what's going to happen downstream. This was a year in the making. You heard it here first. This is what we see happening. So We'll catch you guys on the next one. Eyes open, folks. No fear. And remember that love is the only way forward.